No problem. Shall we gather at the river where bright angel feet have trod, with its crystal tide forever flowing from the throne of God? Yes, we'll gather at the river, that beautiful, beautiful river, gathered with the saints at the river that flows from the throne of God. When we reach the shining river, lay we every burden down. Grace our spirits will deliver and provide a robe and crown. Then we'll gather at the river, that beautiful, beautiful river, with the saints at the river that flows from the throne of God. Soon we'll reach the shining river, soon our pilgrimage will cease, soon our happy hearts will quiver with the melody of peace. Beautiful, beautiful river, gather with the saints at the river that flows from the throne of God. Oh, they tell me of a home of a king in his beauty there. And they tell me that mine eyes shall behold where he sits on the throne that is whiter than snow, in that city that is made of gold. Oh, the land of cloudless day, oh, the land of an unclouded sky. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day.
Thank you, Doug. Thanks for your gift.
Thank you.
Frank, I know my heart's breaking for you, and I didn't realize it was going to be this tough, but here we go. Are you ready? Good morning. Good afternoon. Oh, that's a good start. On behalf of Frank and Linda's family, I'd like to welcome you, and thanks so much for being with us here this afternoon. Linda Lorraine Lundquist Lintgen, age 77, of Circle Pines, Minnesota. Transitioned from this life on March 30th, 2024. Linda was born in Brainerd on January 12th, 1947. She was the eldest daughter of Emil and Lorraine Nelson Lundquist. Linda graduated from high school in Crosby, Ironton, the class of 1965. She continued her education at the Brainerd Junior College, St. Cloud State University, Hamlin University, and the University of California, Berkeley. Linda taught in the St. Francis School District for 33 years. In 1973, Linda met Frank Lintgen, and they were wed the following year. She and Frank spent many wonderful times together at their cabin, Windsong. Linda was a lifelong learner. She created the scaffolding of her life surrounded by her extensive library. Linda was a Reiki master, oblate with the Benedictine Sisters of St. Paul's Monastery, and owner of Evotion Studio. She was a champion of women, very active at Womanwell. Linda was an accomplished artist, expressing herself through creative writing and sculpting clay. Preceding Linda in death are her parents, brothers Wayne, Gary, and Gordy, and brother-in-law Terry Beelan. Linda is survived by her devoted husband, Frank, daughter Allison Charles Condon, and granddaughter Amelia Condon, sisters Karen Lundquist, Janet Lundquist, Betty Purcell, sister-in-law Melanie Lundquist, brother Warren, myself, and 25 nieces and nephews. We're going to remember and honor Linda this afternoon through music, readings, and a time for sharing. Linda grew up on Route 1 Deerwood, and she dreamed of returning there right up to the end. Frank chose our first song today as a nod to Linda's past.
Join with me on the chorus of How Great Thou Art. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power through all the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When through the woods and forest glades I wander, I hear the birds sing sweetly in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountain grandeur and hear the brook and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. But when I think that God his Son not sparing sent him to die, I scarce can take it in that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come, the shout of acclamation, and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart. Then I shall bow in humble adoration, and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Our first two readings honor Linda's spirit of an artist and heart of an empathetic caretaker of Mother Earth and all who dwell upon her. Frank's sister Brenda will share with us The Plea by Joseph Rodriguez.
The Plea by Joseph Rodriguez. I'm just a lump of clay, scooped out of the riverbank and molded to the shape of natural man. I'm just a lump of clay, a handful of water and a fistful of sand, and a warm exhalation from God. 50% God and 50% just plain old river mud. That's me. Sometimes I wonder if maybe God isn't beginning to wonder if it wasn't all just a waste of breath on his part. Mud being mud and God being God. I'm just a lump of clay. A seething bundle of great aspirations and expectations. A juxtaposition of countries and nations and their innovations. A shifting kaleidoscope of religion and races, changing, chameleon-like their color of skin, with each shift of terrain, and with gentle reverence, with innocent and colossal conceit, changing the color of their God. For man must worship a God in his own image, it seems. I'm just a lump of clay, and I've been fooled and tricked, and taken again and again through all the long dying, Through all the long howling and crying of war, I'm just a lump of clay. And I'm cornered at last in a time where the sky threatens to fall on me for all eternity. Cornered, holding in my hands and heart one last desperate simple plea for peace. I'm just a lump of clay, and I'm alone and afraid. Do I have to be? Listen to me, I don't have to be. Not while I can reach out to you and cry, neighbor, neighbor, you and I were born together beneath the same sky. Chinaman, African, Russian will hold up the sky and it won't fall. Yes, I'm a lump of clay, but put me together in mass, and there is weight there enough to level a forest, drain a sea, change the course of a universe or of a war. And so kings, dictators, and rulers of nations, don't tell me my world's going to end. Why? I haven't seen enough rainbows, reached for enough stars, or kissed enough pretty young girls under the smoked silver sliver of the moon. So don't you scream at me about killing and dying when I haven't even begun to live yet. Listen, tender sparkers who ignite the fire of war. I, the lump of clay, am a stubborn song and sinew thing, and I won't step out of your way, not while I have hands to plead and a voice to cry for peace. Peace, that is my plea. I ask it humbly after all. I'm just a lump of clay, scooped out of the riverbank and molded to the shape of a natural man. I'm just a lump of clay and a handful of water and a fistful of sand, and a warm exhalation from God. 50% God and 50% just plain old river mud. That's me. Sometimes I wonder if maybe God isn't beginning to wonder if it wasn't all just a waste of breath on his part. Mud being mud, God being God, I'm just a lump of clay, and I'm cornered and alone and afraid. But if you've listened to me, if you'll answer my plea, do I have to be?
Thanks, Brenda. Our second reading is from Linda's Red Forest Sanctuary. Red Forest Sanctuary was dedicated to devotion of mind, body, and spirit. This was Linda's sacred space for her contemplative clay studio, her Reiki practice, and all things healing. Frank's sister Cindy will now read Inside This Clay Jug by Kabir.
Inside This Clay Jug by Kabir. Inside this clay jug, there are canyons and pine mountains, and the maker of canyons and pine mountains. All 7 oceans are inside, and hundreds of millions of stars. The acid that tests gold is here, and the one who judges jewels, and the music that comes from the strings that no one touches, and the source of all water. If you want the truth, I will tell you the truth. Friend, listen. The God whom I love is inside.
Frank, you could not have found a more beautiful place for Linda to spend her last days on this earth. And our next music is for you and your loving heart.
When you lose the one you love, you think your world is ended. You think your life will be a waste of time without them in it. You feel there's no way to go on. Life is just a sad, sad song. But love is bigger than us all. The end is not the end at all. It's not something you get over, but it's something you get through. It's not ours to be taken, get to do. Life goes on, and when it's gone, it lives in someone new. It's not something you get over, but it's something you get through. Life goes on, and when it's gone, it lives in someone new. It's not something you get over, but it's something we get through. No, it's not something we get over, but it's something we get through. There'll be laughter even after you're gone, and I'll find reasons to face that empty dawn. And the sorrow will pass. The one thing that will last is the love you've given to me. And we'll miss you. Oh, how we'll miss you. We'll dream of you, and we'll cry a million tears. But the sorrow will pass. The one thing that will last is the love you've given to me. And we'll miss you. Oh, I will miss you. We'll dream of you, and we'll cry a million tears. But the sorrow will pass. The one thing that will last is the love you've given to me.
That was hard to follow that song. When tomorrow starts without me. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not here to see, if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me, I wish you wouldn't cry the way you did today while thinking of the many things we did not get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you. Each time that you think of me, I know you'll miss me too. When tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand. The angel said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I would have to leave behind all those I dearly love. But when I walked through heaven's gate, I felt so much at home. When God looked down and smiled at me from his golden throne, he said, "This is eternity, and all I promised you. Today for life on earth is done, but here it starts anew. I promise no tomorrow, for today will always last, and since each day the exact same way, there's no longing for the past. So when tomorrow starts without me, do not think we're apart. For every time you think of me, remember I'm right here in your heart."
Thank you, Linda. Linda and Frank surrounded themselves with beauty. Wonderful artwork, Linda's Boston ferns, her clay sculptures, and that incredible library. One of Linda's most treasured places was her sacred walking labyrinth at their cabin on Larson Lake. It is here that Linda walked alone.
I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of His voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that He gave to me within my heart is ringing, and He walks with me and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with Him, though the night around me be falling, but He bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and He walks with me and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Frank chose our next music because he shares Linda is his hero.
Sorry about that. We'll get organized here yet. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings.
At this time, if anyone would like to share a memory of Linda, please, Ashley, sure.
Y'all don't mind if I read from my phone. I prepped on the plane. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ashley. I'm one of Linda's nieces. I was fortunate to spend a great deal of time with Linda as I was growing up. She shaped my life and my character in many ways. We all experience different sides of people, so I thought I'd share with you today the Linda who I knew and loved. I loved the way she dressed, especially when she wore her red coat downtown in Minneapolis. I thought she always looked classy and conservative, and I loved how she always wore a headband and those pearl earrings. You know the ones, Frank? She had the most beautiful eye color, like a two-toned sage green and gold. I loved the way she spoke. She had her own vernacular, and as a kid, I thought she used all of the best adjectives, like lush and vibrant, whimsical and festive. I loved talking to her, and I loved how a conversation could last 10 minutes or 2 hours, but still somehow only feel like it was 10 minutes. She had such a dynamic personality. One day we could be listening to her Buddhist healing chant on the way to the monastery, and the next day jamming out to the Statler Brothers on the way to the cabin. I loved going to the cabin with her. I loved how she called it Windsong. If you could create a place that mirrored someone's personality, that's what Windsong was to her. It had a calmness to it, a level of serenity that I always saw in Linda. She loved nature, she loved people and culture, she loved conversation and books. She would always send me new books to read with a little note written in the front cover. I loved her signature, LLLL. I loved how she began every voicemail with the weather report and what she had going on that day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She left a lot of voicemails. But I love those. I always loved them because no matter how busy life became, I knew she would always reach out to me to check in. Lastly, she always talked about how nice it would be for family to get together. As I said before, we all know life happens, right? We get busy and we get caught up in our daily lives and sometimes forget to reach out. But Linda never forgot that. And because she never forgot about me, I'll always remember her. Thank you.
If anyone else would like to share, you don't have to come up front. Feel free just to stand it where you're at. Linda. Classmate Linda.
Another Linda. We're all the same age. I was a good friend of Linda's in high school, and then we got together our sophomore year at St. Cloud when she came there, and we lived together off campus, and so we had a lot of fun times together. And it seems like we were laughing a lot, because we always kind of saw the funny side of things. And the other day I was thinking about this, and it just came to me, and I just want to share it because it was just like something that would happen. It was Linda's birthday, and so we decided we were going to have cake. And so I think we pulled our money together and walked down to Colburn's, which was about 4 blocks away, and shopped and looked at all the cakes, you know, the fancy ones with the things, and finally picked one, you know, and I think it was Linda and I and our roommate, another roommate of ours. And so we paid for it, and we're walking toward the door, and I know we were just all thinking about how fun we were going to have eating that cake, and something happened, and the cake box flipped and landed on the floor, face down, and it was just like plop, and we just all stood there, and we kind of, I don't think we knew if we should laugh or cry, but then we just started laughing, and I said, we have to pick it up. And so we picked it up and brought it home, and I think we laughed all the way home because we didn't know what we'd find when we opened the box. But we just opened the box and started cutting up and having a birthday party that had a little twist to it. That was really fun. And another time, I stayed out at the Shirt Lake house, and I was there for supper time, and so we went downstairs, and everybody gathered around the table, and you know, they had 8 children.
Now, Linda, you have to tell them that you were from a small family.
Yeah, I had brothers. Okay, so Ren gets the food out, and more food, and the biggest bowl of mashed potatoes I think I've ever seen. And, well, there was probably 11 people there, and I thought, goodness, you know, Lorraine, how did she do this all the time with all this food and everything? But it was wonderful. I think we had pork chops and mashed potatoes and things, but it was kind of eye-opening to me, you know, what a really big family and big meal was. Those are the 2 things I remember about Linda, and they just came to me. But she was a great person, and we had a lot of fun, and I just remember laughing a lot with her. So, thank you for letting me share.
Anybody else with a memory they'd like to share? Well, thank you for being here today. And before we have our final reading and music, on behalf of Frank, I'd like to invite everyone to join him at this Hudson Smokehouse in Ironton for lunch afterwards. We're not going to go to the cemetery, so we'll go right to the Hudson from here. And in closing, our final reading is from the Book of Wisdom. It had such meaning to Linda that she read it at least once daily, if not more. She often read it to Frank. She shared it with many. Ashley will read from the Book of Wisdom for us.
I, wisdom, am with you. I am a light that will never grow dim. Love me, and you will see me. Look for me, and you will find me. At the slightest indication of your desire for me, I will make myself known to you. Watch for me at the very start of what you are about, and you will have no trouble. You will find me, ever present, sitting at your table. Even thinking about my presence will help you. Be aware of my presence, my concern, my willingness to inspire and to instruct you. As you meet with each other, I will meet with each and all of you.
Frank, I know sitting up front, it's impossible for you to see how many people are here today to support you. But when I look out, I see all of the love and kindness on everyone's face, and it's really beautiful. Frank chose his final song for Linda today because of its message of grace, redemption, and coming home. Please join us as we sing Amazing Grace. Frank, it's been my honor to be here this afternoon, and I'm grateful. Thank you. Please join us at the Hudson. We'll have some lunch.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Coming down there? Yeah. Thank you.
Huh? You want a couple of young guys to grab the other end or what?
I get the other right there.